Hi, it's April from the Notebook Garden. Today is July the 3rd, 2021, and this is my 8th garden tour. I am going to combine a little harvest with this because I was out yesterday in between rain showers and noticed that there's quite a bit that we can harvest together. I do want to show you my harvest apron right quick because it's pretty cool and it's very helpful. So you'll notice that it has this little big pocket, and what I do is everything that I cut all out, just throw it in this pocket, and then once I get in the house, all I do is unbuckle it from here. And this is actually an opening, the bottom, so once I do this, it's on the kitchen table, everything just falls out onto the kitchen table or the counter or wherever you want to go with it. And then you just fold it back up, pin it back up, and you're ready for your next round. My mother-in-law made this for me, and I absolutely love it. It's better than carrying around a basket because now I have free hands. The other thing she did for me was she put me some pockets right here. So if there's something smaller that I don't want to get into the big part with everything else, I could put it in here. I've also been able to keep my shears in here, so it makes it easier to cut things like zucchinis and squashes and stuff like that I don't want to rip off the plant. All right, so we'll get started on the garden tour. Here's what's left of the container potatoes. These are getting harvested today. They have died back a whole lot. I think the Kennebec ones right here in front of me, they could probably go maybe another week or so. But we're going to go ahead and harvest this container to see what point they're at. I have 2 more containers down at the bottom that I will show you guys. And depending on how they look when we open in this one, depends if we open the other 2 buckets or not. But these buckets right here are the blue ones, and they are done. We're going to go ahead and get them up. But you can see what I'm talking about when I say how dead they look. We've been talking about that in many videos. This is what I'm talking about by how they look dead. Here are my container here are my container tomatoes on the top here. Most of these are gorgeous and loaded with fruit. They're starting to change colors a little bit. Remember, this group right here that I'm showing you was always behind the other group that I'm about to show you, about 2 or 3 weeks. And this group right here, we have been harvesting off of mainly our Carolina Golds, the little yellow tomatoes. They're really good. You will also notice that they're suffering some type of disease. It's typical hot, humid North Carolina. This is what you're going to get at some point. So there's not much I could do about it. I am treating it with the copper. I did buy something else that I can tell you guys what it is when I remember to try on it as well. The one that are diseased the worst, that middle one right here, is actually my Celebrity. It's my red tomato. You can see actually it's starting to ripen quite a bit of some. But yep, that's what it looks like. We'll go back down and look at some other stuff. I always want to show y'all my herb tower. Remember how of a slow start it had when you couldn't get anything to grow in it? And there's still pockets where nothing grew in it, but the pockets that stuff grew in it, look at this. How beautiful this is. I want to try it again next year. I don't know if I'll do herbs again or pick something different, but it's gorgeous. So these are the other 2. Actually, looking at these potatoes, this bottom bucket might be more ready to go than that top bucket goes. I wouldn't be shocked if we make the decision to go ahead and pull all potatoes up. It's just that back one right there still looks pretty good. Like I said, it really depends on the size of the potatoes when we harvest that other big bucket. Here are my newest container potatoes that I put in. I would say they're probably not even a month old, and they look beautiful. They haven't been around enough to get all that disease that we talk about. And then I tried and put 2 peppers in the same container, and they're doing really good. All right, guys, here are my tomatoes. I don't know if anyone has seen the tarp that we put on it. We put a 40% shade cloth on it because, guys, these were really struggling in the heat. I didn't know if they were struggling because they had so much sunlight or disease. I am going to release a video this week. I did go I took a couple plants to my corporate education, I took a couple plants to my corporate extension here in the county that I live in, and there was a horticulture guy there that knew a lot about diseases and tomato plants and stuff, and it was a very interesting talk I had with him, and I'm going to dissect and take apart one of my tomato plants that died for you guys and do that in a video to show you what he taught me. But we'll go down these aisles and I can show you how they're looking. I was able to get me some cherry tomatoes last night, and let me tell you guys, I am in love with this, let me think, blueberry cream, I think's the name of it. It was delicious. And that plant, I mean, these plants that you look at right now that I'm going to show you, for the most part, they're beautiful and they're gorgeous and they're green and they look great. As we get closer to the ones that I'm worried about, I'll show you what's on them. But these up here, for the most part, look really good. You'll notice maybe a leaf or two, like here. Let me see if I can get that for you. There's a leaf there on this one. Now, guys, this one right here is the chocolate cherry. We ate one last night, and we were so surprised at how much it tastes like the Cherokee Purple. And y'all have heard me in almost every video talk about how much I love the Cherokee Purple. I did put a few new ones down to take over the ones that I took out. This right here, these three right here are my triple crop that are quickly catching up with everybody else. I did see some fruit on them. There we go. See, they're already getting a little bit of fruit. Let's see if I can show that to you guys. There we go. Look at that. I do need to come through and trim them up and pin them up. This one right here is our mystery tomato plant. I don't see any babies on it to be able to even think about what it could be. And then behind here, look at my peppers are finally getting bigger. Finally. I told you they're slower. And even my habanada that really looked bad not long ago. So maybe a week ago, I hit it up with Fish Emotion. I might hit it up with Fish Emotion again today. Because that might have been what it needed. Because it has made so much growth since I did that. Look, I even got some jalapenos growing. I don't know if you can see the jalapeno. See? This is another end to show you my Cherokee Purples. That one's ripening. You see that split it has right there? That's from rain. I hope it doesn't split any more than that, because we are mouth-watering dying for some of these Cherokee Purples. All right, guys, let's go and look on the other side of this so we can look at the tomato plants on this side. So these Cherokee Purple have that disease that I talked to that guy about. I can show you a little bit of the leafage right now. You see all the spots on them? You'll have to catch that video that I'm going to release later this week, and I'll talk all about that and what me and that guy came up with what my tomato plants have and what I'm going to do to take care of that. Most of these I'm showing right now Cherokee Purple. We're now going to go down where I'm going to show you my Better Boys, who are starting to get taller and produce. They've been a little bit slow, which worries me because part of the disease process that I'm watching out for is stunting. So I'm curious to how these guys are going to do. This is where I lost 2 of the plants. All right, so now we're going to look at these peppers. Now, guys, this aisle's still really weeded. I really need to take my weed whacker and weed this so that we can actually see these pepper plants, as they have gotten bigger, but it's kind of hard to see them between telling what's weeds and what's peppers. I apologize for this. I'm going to kind of go through this quickly. So some of these peppers don't look as good as the other peppers down there did. There's my jimmies. They've got a couple on them. Look, there's a pepper growing there. I think I've come to the conclusion that's my shishita pepper. My banana peppers. There's a banana pepper down there. All right, we'll go around and look at the... Now this aisle that we're about to go down on the tomatoes has been hit one of the hardest. So these are the zebras. And their poor leafage looks rough. And I'm going to come in here, guys, especially this little guy. Like these leaves look really rough. Look at that. I'm going to cut those leaves off. This is my favorite tomato, Dr. Witchy. He has the disease as well. It worries me, but he is growing. He's getting taller, so that gives me hope. This is one of my only golden jubilee left, and its leaves look really rough. So I don't know what this guy's going to do. He's not getting much taller. And then my German Johnsons got hit really hard. Really, really hard. I have these two left, and we'll just see what they do. All right, let's look at the big garden. Okay, I'm silly. Let's look at the watermelons first, which are getting bigger. I need to weed them as well. It amazes me how fast everything grows because I just mowed not long ago. And I feel like I haven't weeded that long ago. If you don't stay on top of it, guys, it really does get away from you. All right, here's a view. Before we even get started, look at all the beautiful sunflowers. They're gorgeous. All right, guys, here are my zucchinis. And I will tell you, just from what I've messed with them, they do have borers in them. We've been talking about the borers. And I have been injecting BT in their stems and spraying up and down their stems with BT and this other substance. And I'll put the other one in my description. The stuff that I can't remember what I do, I'll put it in my description so you guys can read it. And we'll see if that helps. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and redirect these plants to grow where I can bury their stems. I've read burying their stems will help them as well when they're affected like that. But here in a second, you're going to see a couple zucchinis that I need to get off the vine, and that is one reason why I wore my... They're down here. Here they are. Look at those guys. We're going to have a cookout for 4th of July, and they're going to be part of dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and get them off right quick. All right, guys, look at that. I probably could have let this one right here grow a little bit more, but that's okay. I have one big one inside that I harvested a couple of days ago. That'd be nice for dinner tomorrow. I hear people talk about vertically growing zucchini and squash, and I kind of see now, like I probably could have taught this one how to grow vertically, because if you notice, it's kind of hanging out on my bed here. And because the stem is so weak, I don't know how much I can show you guys. I don't know, that stem's actually pretty decent. I might attempt to twist it and get it to grow the opposite direction, so that way I can bury the stem. All right, so here are my green beans. They are actually looking really good. I'm gonna see if they're ready to have some to pick. They are getting tall. This is what I wanted, a wall of green beans. And I had debated on putting a couple more seeds in to make it more lush, which I'm still debating, looking at it today. I might still do that. But I'm going to go ahead and just pick a few. I might have to pick some off camera. Just wanted to show them to you. This happens. Look at this. I hope you guys can see that it's really bright out here. But this is beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick these off camera so that I don't keep you guys for too long. Now this broccoli, its seeds are ready. I'm pretty sure. Ready or not, there's enough that is. Like, whoop. Oh yeah, that's ready. See the little seeds in my hands? That's what I was waiting for. So I'm gonna go ahead, I mean, this has so many seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the ones that are ready and then get rid of this plant. That is so cool, guys. Probably gonna have random broccoli pop up next year because of this. But that's coming up today because it is just in the way of my green bean tower here. Look at my green beans. I'm so excited about them. This end is the one that doesn't have as much growing, so I might put a few more seeds in this end right here. All right. So this is where all my, I still have quite a bit of winter stuff in, or not winter, I'm sorry, quite a bit of spring stuff in that I finally decided to take up. And I did put some more squash seeds down, which you can see the squash popping up. Now my okra, my 2 okras have more room to grow. I did put a few corn seeds down. You can kind of see them sprouting up. I think when I pull that broccoli up, I'm going to put more corn down there. And then little spots down here, I'm going to put a couple more zucchini. Look at those noodle beans go. I have been working really hard to train my cantaloupe and honeydew to go up the trellis because I want this trellis full. It's just them noodle beans. They know what they're doing. They're also called asparagus beans if you don't see it listed as noodle beans, but that's so pretty. And then you can see my corn right here in the middle. And I know you probably already saw this, but here is one cantaloupe growing. I thought I had a few more, but I'm watching them and see if they get any bigger. Because there's one right here that may not have been fertilized. I'm thinking this one has, because it is a tiny bit bigger. But we'll see. I'm noticing there's not as much flowers on there. I'm going to hit this stuff with fishing motion today, I think, to see if I can get some more flowers. And I really haven't seen a lot of cucumber beetles since I've been treating it with neem oil and BT. This is my honeydew, which is full of flowers. So where are my flowers on my cantaloupe gone to? Look, there's a little female flower right there. I hope a bee gets to it today. So we have some honeydew growing. And these are my pumpkins. This is my first flower I've seen on my pumpkin. Now that I removed the peas from here, they probably have more room to grow. All right, guys, let's go look at the another thing I'm trying to teach to grow up a trellis is these cucumbers. I'm constantly out here reminding them that they need to grow up and not vertically. Look at this, like this one. It's already fell back down. So when I cut this camera off, I'm going to be working on teaching it to grow. This one over here has somewhat got the idea, but then you see him like that. These things are funny. We did get lots of rain and storms yesterday, so it might have blown it down some. They do have, I'm going to come through and cut some of these leaves off to give it some more airflow. But you see, guys, what I mean by this pocket is full of green beans and cucumbers mainly. But yeah, so now I'll just go empty this on my kitchen counter, table, wherever you put your harvest at. But this is just cool. I've been free to have both my hands to do this, and that's what I like so much about this. There you go, guys. There's today's harvest. So there you have it, guys. There's how my garden's doing for now. Do look out for videos this week. I'd plan on potato harvest again, like the big one that we're about to do, and then like I talked about in the beginning of my video, the dissection of the tomato plant and going over what that guy taught me. I do want to thank everybody for watching my videos, and if you like my videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.